Good evening, Desert Sands Unified School District. My name is Sean Webb, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement. I've got a special evening edition for our viewers tonight, where we have the La Quinta High School administration team and counseling department that are joining us for their Future Freshman Night. Typically, this time of year, we have these type of events where we have families and students come to the gymnasium and see everything that's going on, everything great at La Quinta. Due to the current environment, we're doing things a little bit different, and we're helping them out with this. Before we move on, I want to thank the Desert Sands Educational Foundation Board, who provided this platform, a StreamYard, for us to be able to do this, and obviously they partner with our school sites. But I would like to read their mission statement before we start. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. They do this in partnership with public and private sectors. Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in all the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in Desert Sands Unified School District. They obviously do this with partnering with our schools, and that's why we have La Quinta High School here today. I've got the great pleasure to introduce the principal, Dr. Rudy Wilson, who's going to join us. While I bring him on screen here, I do want to mention to everybody that this evening's event is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as it's going on to different multiple landing sites there. But in regards to if you need this in Spanish translation, after the event, the captions, if you have it set on your Facebook or your YouTube, will then translate into Spanish. So that will be available. But I was told I had to say that first, Dr. Wilson. Now I want to go ahead and introduce you. Thank you for joining us. And you got a real special night. I want to tell you, you got almost 100 people that are watching right now.
That is awesome. And as usual, Sean, it's always great to be with you. There's a lot to be talked about tonight, but I actually want to start by introducing one of our fantastic freshmen. He happens to be our freshman class president and an amazing young man, Mr. Aiden Herrera. He's going to actually lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Excellent. Aiden, take us away.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Good evening and welcome to the La Quinta High School Future Freshman Night. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. My name is Aiden Herrera, and I am president of the class of 2024, as well as a member of the water polo and swim teams. I know that the last year has not been how you expected your last year of middle school would go, or how you would be starting your transition to high school. But know that we are excited and ready to welcome a new class of Blackhawks. As we navigate through distance and hybrid learning, it is important to stay focused and determined to be the best students and people that we can be. The Blackhawk way means staying focused on citizenship by encouraging others and being engaged. It is about excellence and setting goals and never giving up. It is about integrity and doing the right thing, being honest and respecting others. It means following the rules and taking responsibility by staying on top of classwork and engaging with teachers and students during class. I invite all of you to take advantage of the many opportunities here at LQHS, such as career tech education, clubs, and athletics. Getting involved will only add to your high school experience and help you get to know other students and staff on campus. I look forward to seeing you all in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate it. And those of you who are out there, please heed his words. There is a young man who's going to be incredibly successful. First of all, I would like to welcome all of our new Blackhawk families to La Quinta High School. If this is your first experience with La Quinta, it's going to be a great experience. And of course, I want to welcome back all of our returning families. La Quinta High School and Desert Sands have a strong and rich tradition both in the classroom and beyond. Even in this surreal world of COVID, my staff continues to strive to provide great opportunities for our students. I would like to share some of the school's highlights. La Quinta High School is an international baccalaureate school, also known as an IB school. We have 22 AP and IB course offerings. We are an AVID school. We have a robust CTE program, which includes the Culinary Arts, Medical Health Academy, Public Service Academy, the IT Academy, and of course, the Air Force Junior ROTC. We are a California Distinguished School. We are a California Gold Ribbon School. And just keep this in the back of your mind as you enter your freshman year. The class of 2020 had just under 100 senior scholars who graduated in white. That simply means that they earned at least a 4.0 or higher. That same class earned over $3 million in scholarships. That is impressive by any measure. We had numerous Division I scholar athletes, and we had a graduating class that graduated over 97% of all of our students. That's impressive, and I look forward to actually working with this new class. This will be a wonderful 4 years, and you're going to have some great people to help you get there. And tonight, you're going to meet several of those outstanding individuals. Emma Sabota being one of them.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Wilson. I'm Emma Svoboda. I am the ASB president here at La Quinta. The best decision I made here at La Quinta was getting involved. I joined ASB as a freshman, and I've been in it all 4 years. Last year, I was the senator of athletics, and this year, I'm the ASB president. I've been involved in sports such as basketball and volleyball. I've joined clubs, you name it, I've done it. The best advice I can give you incoming freshmen is to get involved in high school. It makes life so much better. You will make lifelong friendships and make memories that you will cherish forever. Join a club, join an academy, join IB, play a sport, whatever it is. I guarantee you that it will make your 4 years here at La Quinta the best experience ever. Yes, thank you.
Emma, before you go, could you tell us where you are going next year? It's kind of important.
In the next 4 years, I will be attending the University of Oklahoma to pursue my academic and athletic career.
Emma's a phenomenal athlete, in basketball in particular. We're excited for you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Aguirre. I think you're muted, Mrs. Aguirre.
Go figure, right? Good evening, Blackhawk families. I am Mrs. Aguirre. I am one of the assistant principals here at La Quinta High School, and I oversee the counseling department. We are so happy that you are here to join us and learn more about what La Quinta High School has to offer you. I'd like to start by introducing our amazing counseling staff, and I am going to start with our lead counselor, Veronica Davis. We also have Alice Peterson, Michelle Morales, Elva Pena, and Philip No. These individuals are going to help support you throughout your 4 years here at La Quinta High School. They are here to ensure that you are supported academically, making sure that you are taking the right classes for graduation requirements, for A3g, helping you pave your way onto college and any career that you choose. We also have our social emotional support here at La Quinta High School. They are here to support you in that aspect as well. In addition, we have our licensed MFT that is here full-time, Ms. La Bastida, for our additional support that some of our students may need during their high school career. I wanted to just talk a little bit about the transition from middle school to high school. It is really a big transition, and we're here to help you along the way and make it as easy as possible. You're going to notice that in high school, you're going to gain more independence in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of things to get involved in. So we have clubs, activities, athletics, you name it, there is something for every single student here, and we really encourage you to get involved. There is homework, but be responsible and you can get it done, right? And reach out when you need it. We do have finals, and finals are really important, but we ask that you just study hard and reach out when you need the support. They are manageable, right? We can all do this. So Veronica Davis, our lead counselor, is going to take you into more of the supports that we have here at La Quinta. So I'll let you take it away, Ms. Davis.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that so many of you are joining us tonight. I'm, really excited to have this new class of students joining us. And one of the things that will be available to you tonight, so you can do a little bit of exploration about what La Quinta High School has to offer you, especially in the freshman year, is our La Quinta High School Future Freshman website. So there should be that pulled up here on our website soon. There'll be a link that you'd be able to access. And I believe that Mr. Webb will put that on our page right here so that you can see it. But we encourage you to explore this site to get a little bit more in-depth information about some of the things that you've already heard about regarding career technical education, which is our academies. And throughout the presentation, our counselors will hit up some more of that information really specific for you. As you're getting ready to make your transition to high school, one of the things that the counseling department will be doing for our incoming freshmen is to schedule a transition meeting. And there'll be more information coming to you via email. And know that through these transition meetings, they'll be about 20 minutes long. You'll get to meet with your future high school counselor. And the goal is to help you identify what's going to be in your schedule freshman year, and even talk about what the 4 years of high school is going to look like. So we will be developing a 4-year plan with you at the time. Now, know that there's so many different opportunities at La Quinta High School, and that's why we want you to explore that website so you kind of have an idea what you might be interested in the 9th grade, or what may be more of interest to you moving forward in the 10th grade. Those transition meetings, as we submit or send out information to families via email, we'll be starting to schedule those April 12th, so after our spring break. If you're a student who is looking to come to La Quinta High School on a transfer, make sure that you go to the district webpage to submit a request for transfer. That window does close on February 26th. So there's only a few days left to submit that request for a transfer. But as you continue to hear from the rest of our counselors, you'll get to know a little bit more about some of the expectations and really important parts about this transition that you're going to be making very shortly as you make your way onto the La Quinta High School campus. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Pena, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about expectations to get your diploma.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm excited to meet all of you. I know with 9th grade transition meetings, we'll have a conversation about our graduation requirements. You are able to find our graduation requirements on our website under counseling, and then it'll say graduation requirements, and you'll see a list of all the courses that you'll have the ability to enjoy. The main part is definitely knowing our credits, what courses to take, and making sure that we're passing all of our classes to definitely make the 220 by the time we are graduating, or by the time we're at the end of our senior year. The biggest part is making sure that we're passing courses, and if we're struggling in our courses, definitely asking for help before the semester ends. Our grades definitely are important to passing these requirements, getting our credits, so always ask for help, use your resources, and we'll definitely help you along the way. Credits, requirements, we will discuss this in our transition meetings in details, so we can highlight what you specifically have to do to meet your graduation requirements and then continue on to your next steps after high school. In regards to that, I would definitely like to let Mrs. Morales jump on in and also highlight our A3g requirements.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Pena. So before I start talking about our A3g requirements, I did want to mention, if any of you out there have a question that you want to ask during the presentation, we do have a bit.ly where you can submit your questions, and we'll be doing a Q&A at the end of the session. So it's right up there on the screen. Feel free to go ahead and shoot those questions over. We're happy to field them and looking forward to it. So what I wanted to go ahead and do is pull up the document that we're going to be looking at during your freshman transition meeting. So what I have here is a 4-year plan document that we'll be drafting with you as students during those individual transition meetings this spring. This is our 4-year plan, and it's really, really important to us that we start working on this plan really early. right at the onset of high school so that we can make sure that you are not only graduating, but graduating as a student who is college and career ready. A large part of that, being college and career ready, is meeting what we could call the A3g requirements. So the A3g requirements, I want to see if I can go ahead and zoom in on this here for you guys. We're going to have these on your transition plan. And folks, you can also find this on our counseling website under our College and Career Center. But the A3g requirements refer to the specific subject areas and classes that our four-year California colleges require for students to complete in order to apply as a student on their campus. So this is only part of what we're going to talk about in the transition meetings. It's really our first chance to get to know you guys and figure out what some of your goals are. So we're looking forward to it and can't wait to see you and meet you. So let me introduce Mr. No. He's going to talk to you guys a little bit more. Mr. No, I think you're muted over there.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. So,
Okay.
so here at La Quinta High School, we use the Latin system to recognize academic achievement. So students, the way that students are recognized is by their GPA for one academic year. And on our website, you can see here that there's 4 different categories. And based on what a student achieves in one academic year, they would receive either academic honors, cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. So for those students that can achieve at least a 3.0 GPA for one particular year, they would all receive this certificate here. And on the certificate, it basically has their name as well as what they're being recognized for. So again, that's for every student that could achieve at least a 3.0 or above GPA. Now, for those students that can achieve at least a 3.5 or above GPA, they would receive hardware along with their certificate. And then I just wanted to go over what that hardware looks like. So again, this is for those students that could achieve at least a 3.5 or above GPA. So for their freshman year, they would be receiving this letter and lamp. And what this lamp indicates is that this letter is being awarded for academics. For their sophomore year, they would be receiving this patch and pin. In their junior year, again, if they can achieve at least a 3.5 or above GPA, they would be receiving this highest honors pin and ribbon. And if they can maintain that 3.5 GPA all 4 years of high school, by the time that they're a senior, they would be receiving this medal. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Ms. Peterson, who's going to talk about getting involved in high school.
Thank you, Mr. No. So the main thing is we want you to have fun in high school. So the keys to being successful in high school is get involved, make high school fun, dress up for spirit days, and support your ASB. That's probably one of the funnest things that I find at high school is who can have the most outrageous fun costume. Choose 2 activities. From the activities, you're going to make different sets of friends than what you had in middle school, and it gives you more opportunity to interact within La Quinta High School. So we have sports, fall, winter, spring. We have clubs. ASB puts on a club rush that goes down our campus, and then you get to pick whichever clubs you want to go to. I say pick 2 because you might not like one, then you're still in one all 4 years. We have everything from environmental club to theater club. We have academic programs. I think Dr. Wilson touched on those, but you have to apply to those now when you do your transition meeting so that you can get in those programs for the following year, because they're 4-year programs, and that's AVID, full IB program, Air Force JROTC, Instructional Technology Academy, Culinary Arts. We have 2 additional academies, Medical Health Academy and Public Service Academy, but you will apply, if you want those, you'll hold off and apply for those your freshman year, and those will start your sophomore year. They're a 3-year program. The big thing I want to say is join activities, make new friends, make this your school, be proud of your school, get all grades of C or better, because that'll get you on the college pathway, and enjoy your high school experience.
Okay, I believe that we're gone to the portion of the meeting where we're going to have some Q&A, and I've been putting that in the comment box there. But Nicole and Dr. Wilson, I'm going to bring you on screen here real quick. Before we go on, I always like to say the comments and see who's watching. I want to let you know that Dr. Cook is watching and yelling out "Go Blackhawks" for us. I put the comments there. Let's see who else we have. We have another former Blackhawk parent, but now she's going to have another set of students coming through, so that's pretty awesome. And then you got to love this. She used to be joining us on these. Best counseling team in the desert, coming from Dr. Shantz.
Agreed.
I agree with that completely. There we go. But you got some great comments coming in, as well as some questions. I'll let you guys field your questions first, and if they're not addressed in the ones that are in the comments, I'll bring them up afterwards.
All right. Do you want to bring Veronica on too?
You betcha.
Thanks.
So we've had just a few questions here, and one of them is asking specifically about any classes that we offer here at La Quinta High School that would also provide college credit. And I'd actually like to have Ms. Peterson answer that question for us.
Hi, yes, we do. We've just added probably 6 sections of courses this year. Our culinary arts has, I think, 3, maybe 4 classes that are dual enrollment with College of the Desert. Our IT Academy also has 3 or 4 classes that are dual enrollment with College of the Desert. And our PSA program, our Public Service Academy, has AJ001 that's dual enrolled with COD. So we have quite a few classes now. I think I didn't count it before this, but we have quite a few that are available, and we're growing.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson. I've got a question coming up also about ASB and the opportunities for ASB on our campus. And I was hoping that Ms. Morales might be able to address how a student can go about applying for ASB.
Hey, future Blackhawks. So if you are incoming freshmen, we are going to do the elections at the start of the school year. So if that's something you're interested in being a part of, just make sure you're, tuning into Hawk Talks, which is where we put out information for our students. We also have a Google Classroom code for the class of 2025 already. So we want to start getting information out to you guys now. I'll see if I can get that posted up and have Mr. Webb get it up on the screen for us here in a minute. So we'd love to invite you to participate in the Google Classroom and get that information. But you have that chance in the fall, and we look forward to having you join.
You should reach out to your ASB advisor at your middle school to find out other opportunities if you're not looking to run for office, because there's lots of opportunities here at La Quinta High School. It's one of our 0-period classes. So our students that are committed to that program, do a lot outside of the classroom. All right, let's see. One of our other questions that's being asked has a little bit to do with what our transition meetings will cover. So for students that are eager to figure out what their classes are going to look like their freshman year, you'll have all of that decided during your freshman transition meeting with your counselor. And like I mentioned before, that information will come to you through email. And in addition to that, your counselor will talk to you about A3g requirements and what that is all about in regards to preparing you for college applications. So A3g requirements are essential for a student who is college bound. And our classes here at La Quinta High School really do prepare you for that. Every class that we have is working towards helping a student meet those A3g requirements. I also am going to direct a question to Miss Morales. She is one of our counselors that's very knowledgeable about things related to sports, and students are asking how they're able to sign up for sports in the fall. And we did post that information on our school website under the Future Freshmen link that we're sharing with everybody.
Yeah, so I think that's a great place to start. Check out the website, the class of 2025. It is important that you're getting athletically cleared before you come and join us if you're trying to play a fall sport. So we do have an athletic website. We post the athletic clearance information there so you can get the physical and be prepared to play in athletics. Join our social media websites, you guys. Participate in those because a lot of information will come out to you. Our coaches are really great about sharing. We have the LQ Athletics, which you can follow, and you'll be getting up-to-date information. And if you just don't know who to reach out to, you can contact our athletic office and we'll get you in touch with the right person.
Just to add to that, Coach Reese, who is our athletic director, he's actually going to set up meetings for incoming freshmen who are interested in playing particular sports. So you will be able to talk to him directly. So he'll put you into contact with the respective coaches.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
I'd like to repeat, just to remind everybody, the freshman transition meetings that we will be having with students. The counselors at La Quinta High School will send a direct email to the student and the parent to let you know how to schedule that and the format that we'll have that in. Right now we're planning on Zoom. So be on the lookout in your student email, so your MyDS email. That's how we'll reach out to our students that are identified to attend La Quinta High School in the fall. If you are a student that is requesting for a transfer, once those transfers are approved, then we would be able to connect with you and go through that process where we're scheduling freshman classes and creating that 4-year plan. And if you had any specific questions about how to meet certain graduation requirements, they'll be covered during those meetings with your counselor. I think that really kind of covers the main questions that came through for the counseling department. I don't know if there's anything else, Ms. Aguirre or Dr. Wilson, that you'd like to address before we round out our evening here.
Can I mention that there are some questions and comments? If you guys don't mind, I'll bring them up and maybe you can direct me to which counselor to pull up. But let me just go ahead and start off with them. There was a question specific about Club Rush. When does that happen? Is it during the transitional meetings or when does it happen? If somebody can answer that.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Our Club Rush is usually held within the first 2 months of school. Lots of information will come out at the beginning of the school year, how Club Rush will be kind of held this year. And then you'll have an opportunity to learn about what all the clubs are about and meet the advisors, meet some of the students that have participated in those clubs, and then sign up for the club of your choice or multiple clubs if that's what you
And then the same family's asking, do clubs have applications or do they just kind of sign up? How does that work?
They do. And some of those you can find on the website under the clubs tab. And the Future Freshman tab also has some of the club applications already uploaded onto it. There's also a tab that shows with you all the clubs that we offer here at La Quinta High School and the email addresses for all those advisors. So if you're interested in learning more about those clubs before the fall, you can always reach out to those club advisors.
Okay.
And in the event that while you're searching for a club, if there's a club that doesn't exist that you would like to start up, there's a process for doing that as well. So by all means, take a look at the website and let us know what your interests are.
Excellent, excellent. So we do have another question that came in. Somebody asking very specific about ASB. If they've had experience in ASB for the last 3 years, do they have a better chance of getting in?
I'll answer that one.
Sorry to put you guys on.
No worries. So the short answer is the experience helps because as you show interest for a particular position, you're going to have to run for that office. And so you'll have an opportunity to give a speech, for example. And if you can show to your peers that you're the best person for the job, based upon your experience and what you bring to the table. That always helps. So yes, that certainly won't help you. That won't hurt you. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Okay. We also have another question here. Let's see here. Something about medical pathways. They just said, are there medical pathways? Maybe if somebody could just briefly talk about the CTE pathways. Who should I bring up for that?
Ms. Davis.
Okay. Thank you.
One of the things I just want to remind our families about is a lot of the questions about our programs, and especially things related to band, how to apply for that, and even some of the academies available to the 9th grade students. You'll find all of that information on that Future Freshman website. So maybe Mr. Webb, could you please post that one more time so families can see? This is kind of like a one-stop shop for you as incoming freshmen, so that you're not having to go through all the different parts of the La Quinta High School website that might not pertain to you quite yet, since you're just planning on this transition. So we want you to check that website out to get the information about the Information and Communications Technology Academy that's available for 9th grade students, the Culinary Arts program that's available for our 9th grade students. We have AVID and IB for those of you that are interested in some of our academic focused programs. But there are other opportunities as you continue here at La Quinta High School. Our Medical Health Academy and Public Service Academy programs are made available to students starting in the 10th grade.
Okay.
So there's so many different things for you to explore on that website in preparation for that transition meeting with your counselor to create your schedule and your 4-year plan.
Okay. We do have, you guys mentioned transition meetings, and we've said it a couple of times, and the comment just keeps coming in. When is the time frame for that? And then there was one specific question about that. If they're waiting on a transfer, will they still be able to participate with transition meetings? Who should I bring up for that?
So I'll answer the question about the transfers. So the counselors will only be able to contact those that are currently within our system. And so let's say you were transferred from outside the district, we wouldn't know to contact you. So that might be a limitation. As far as the actual meetings, once we know which students are slated to actually transfer into La Quinta High School, our counselors will certainly reach out to those families. The time frame for when it starts, I'll let Mrs. Davis answer that question.
So as we're getting information about our students that are approved for transfers and just coordinating with the middle schools, we are going to start our meetings after the spring break. So that would be the week of April 12th. And it'll continue as we're able to book after school or when it meets your needs until the end of the school year. So we'll send you very specific details about how to book your appointment and what the appointment will cover, just as a reminder. So it'll go to the students in their MyDS email accounts, and we'll copy the parents that are included with that student's account.
Okay. Okay. Switching topics here, there's been a couple of people that have asked about summer school for incoming freshmen, if somebody can address that.
Mrs. Aguirre is going to be reaching out to some of our families. We do have some plans for our incoming freshmen, mostly to mitigate some of what we refer to as loss of learning, to get students prepared for high school. So there's information that will actually be going out to your schools through the families for those students who are interested in summer school. We'll have to see what summer school looks like given what the COVID situation, but the short answer to the question, yes, there will be some opportunities for our freshmen during summer.
Okay, thank you. And then another question is, how many electives are students able to choose during their freshman year? I believe that would be Mrs. Davis.
So in that 4-year plan that you'll create with your counselor, you'll be able to identify what courses are essential for freshman year. Generally, students will be taking maybe one elective. It could be associated with a program like AVID or the Culinary Arts, but you'll have those options presented to you during your transition meeting to talk about what you're able to take and what makes sense for the goals that you have moving forward. So we'll make that list available as we send out emails to students, what course options that it can select from as they're getting ready for those transition meetings.
Excellent, excellent. I have to say, guys, you got some great information that you're giving here, and we got some great questions come in. For the whole 30+ minutes, we've had over 150 watching the whole time. So your community definitely appreciates this. Another question is, it has to do about the opening of school. There's a couple that have come in. Is there anyone that would like to address that?
Depending on what the question is, I think I can.
Okay, yeah. What it says is, when do we go to school? And also the next question is, how are you planning on approaching in-person school?
Right. So if I understand the first question, when do you go to school? If you're referring to in-person, there are some metrics that the county has set, and based upon that, the school board will soon make a decision as far as what in-person looks like. And so I'll share the metrics, and I will never get ahead of the school board and let them go through the process they need to go through. So the county has set a standard of, for every 100,000 COVID cases, you'd have to be at 25 cases or below, and that is for K-5. And once that hits, assuming all of the other safeguards are in place at the sites, then the board has the opportunity to decide when those students will come back. And there are actually plans in the event that the board does make that approval. For 612, the metrics are very different. So we have to be at a case of 7 per 100,000. And as we speak today, we are currently at just over 16 per 100,000. So the numbers are actually dropping pretty rapidly. And once for 612, we get to 7 or below, then the board will have to make a decision as to when we can open in person. Just to give you a little sense, if that decision is made, in person will be hybrid, which means you'll have probably no more than 14 students in a class,
right,
depending on space. So I hope I answered that question.
Okay, thank you very much. While I have you there, Dr. Wilson, I want to say that one of our longtime friends is watching. He has a daughter at our school, Deputy Contreras, and he yelled out, "Go Blackhawks." He's one of our avid watchers of all of our programs. So I know you're friends with him, so I wanted to make sure you got to see that.
He's a special guy, and he's taking really good care of us.
Yep, most definitely. We have one last question here. I'm guessing this person maybe came in a little bit late, but they're asking specifically about the AVID program. When does it start? When can they apply for it, and so forth? So who would be the one to answer that question?
Mrs. Davis.
Ms. Morales actually might be our key person here. She's our counselor that works very closely with our AVID program.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to see that question. So we do have the application for the AVID program available on the Class of 2025 website. So you're able to apply for that program right now. And we love having students, and we're hoping to grow the program. We've got a very great program so far, well established, but always looking for more students who are interested. So check out the Academy or the Specialized Programs tab under the Class of 2025 website, and you'll see the link for the application right there. And you can hear from some of our AVID students too.
Ms. Morales, can you just bring up that website really quick by chance to kind of show families, because at the very top, there's a toolbar that shows you everything that you'll be able to access when it comes to information about sports, the specialized programs, even options for electives. And all of this, again, is to help prepare you for the meeting that you'll have with your counselor, that transition meeting. And you can always ask real direct questions with the counselor via email or at that transition meeting.
Now, I'll say that ever since I worked there, La Quinta's always had one of the most detailed websites. So I greatly appreciate that you guys have everything there for your families. You have all the different areas where they can check out things. Those of you that are watching, if you have any questions about what's going on at La Quinta High, you can obviously find it right on their website, and I highly suggest that you go to it. There is a question about dress code. Is there clothing rules? That's the question exactly. What is the clothing rules or dress code?
So yes, there is a dress code. It's actually in our student handbook, and it should also be on our website. Let me just give you kind of a general description. We expect that whatever students wear, that it's not considered a distraction. And in the worst case scenario, if someone violates the dress code, we have clothes here so that they can change into, so that they're not missing class time. And that's really what the big thing is. We can talk specifically about it with individual families as needed, but we try to make it as user-friendly as possible so that our kids can get as much class time as possible.
Okay, excellent. I want to say we've gotten through all of my questions. Oh, we just had two come up. Sorry, let me see here. This question deals specifically with kids who may have struggled during virtual learning. They're wanting to know what is that going to look like to help them gain back some knowledge that they lost and so forth. Dr. Wilson, maybe if you want to address that?
Absolutely. So since March of last year, we've been planning for the fact that students will have loss of learning, and give you a couple of examples of different programs we've had. Before we went into the winter break, we had a program where we brought small groups of students onto campus, and they actually worked directly with teachers to get that face-to-face interaction that so many of them were missing. And the idea was to actually do a little bit of credit recovery for those that may have struggled, and we had a lot of success with that. This second semester, one of the things that we're doing is to offer an online resource with a teacher who has a credential in those specific areas to help those students actually get caught up. So depending on what this continues to look like, we will be as creative as possible to make certain that we support our students. And of course, we currently have what's referred to as office hours, and so students can go into office hours and work with specific teachers on getting the help that they need in order to be successful within their classes. So we will, once again, we'll continue to do everything possible to make certain our students are successful.
Okay, excellent. And actually one more question came in. Actually came in from one of our, I would say he's one of our community partners with the City of Indio. He also has a child that'll be going into La Quinta High School. We got Jim Curtis that asked the question, is there a schedule for fall sports yet?
So yes, I'm going to pause a little bit. Actually, going back to a little bit what I referred to earlier with regards to the county numbers, keep in mind that number of 100,000 cases. So once the county, once the county gets to 14 per 100,000, we will actually start our football season this year. So
look forward to that.
Yes, so am I. As well as our water polo season. So all of these sports will kick off once we meet that metric, which we're only a little bit more than 2 points away from. So the traditional seasons, as you have it, so for example, in the fall, you'd have football, volleyball, water polo, and so on, golf. Right now, those sports have been postponed, and they're all going to come at once during this school year. And I can say with a great deal of confidence that all of our traditional sports will have a season, abbreviated, but they certainly will have a season. The only sport that's in question would be wrestling because of the nature of wrestling. But I do believe that all of our other sports will have an abbreviated season. Now, to answer your original question, we will have, once we clear this year's sports, because we didn't play a lot of our traditional teams, there are contracts that we have to renegotiate, and so those schedules are a little bit off. And so once we complete our season this year, those schedules will be posted because we'll be back on a regular sports schedule.
Okay. You know, I'll just say that you still have 156 people watching these. Continue to ask questions. So if you guys are going to stay here, I'll continue to ask them if it's okay. Okay. This one's a little bit, I'm not going to show the name on screen here, but the question is, will there be any priority for kids who have struggled to be in person? So I'm thinking there maybe have some anxieties with being around people and so forth. What are some accommodations and avenues that you guys have for that?
So to make sure I understand your question, or this person's question, you are referring to this school year, is that correct?
So it says, will there be any priority for kids who have struggled to be in person? So I would say, why don't we take it as the upcoming school year?
The short answer is we're going to consider every possibility in terms of getting our kids to be successful. So there are so many students right now who have struggled, because if you think about it, for the entire year, for one full year, you've had students that have been in almost complete isolation. So a lot of those students the priority is obviously to get those students back onto campus so they can get that human interaction. And of course, we're going to do that safely. If you have some students that have anxieties about being around other people, other students, being in a classroom, between our counseling department and more specifically Miss Labastida, we have some protocols in place to deal with students that have anxiety that get in the way of their ability to focus and learn. And those, for families that have that situation, I would recommend that you reach out to the counseling department as soon as possible, so that one, we can get to know your child, and then two, start setting up services or opportunities to get them acclimated and comfortable and provide the supports necessary to make them successful.
And while you were commenting there, Mrs. Morales put in the chat here, so I'm going to bring her up on screen too. She wanted to add to that. Go ahead, Mrs. Morales.
Thanks, Sean. So I just wanted to mention, we are also, implementing some social emotional learning supports school-wide here on campus. So we're doing that currently and have plans to continue that. So our staff are reaching out with students. We're embedding those into the class day so that all students are coming into contact with some of the social emotional supports that we know they need because of everything that's happened over the last year. And then I just wanted to mention too, like Dr. Wilson had said, we do have Ms. Labastida, we have all of us here in the counseling department, and we really do have a lot of layers and tiered supports for students available. So reach out to us.
Okay, so speaking of reaching out, these guys are, we asked the question and the person actually put in the comments, so I'm going to read it off here. I meant if there's a limit to how many kids can go in person due to COVID, will the kids who have had a hard time with e-learning to get in the classroom to get them caught up? So will there be additional opportunities? And I think I can answer that. You guys had it on your Saturday academies and everything, those types of things.
Yes. So under Purple, which is currently what we are in the county, we still are allowed to do small groups. And I believe this weekend, both Mr. Jackson, who's one of our assistant principals, as well as I think Ms. Becker is working this Saturday as well. They're going to bring in a small number of students and work with them in person. And they're obviously observing all of the precautions with mask and hand washing and social distancing. But yes, we absolutely have been doing that since March, and we will continue to do that. Those are very specific cases where we're providing intervention, but we will again continue to do so. Okay,
excellent. Let's see here. One question that just came up: is there a debate team as part of the clubs and so forth? Somebody
yes, there is. In short answer, yes.
Excellent, excellent. There's a thing about changes in classes. If we needed help or wanted to change something with our schedule, do we have to make an appointment? And who do we make that appointment with?
Mrs. Davis or Mrs. Aguirre?
So at the beginning of the school year, students can talk to their counselor if they have concerns about something. But the purpose of our 4-year plans is to make sure that we have a proper schedule in place for you so that there isn't any kind of changes that you need when school starts. Because when school starts, we want you to be in the classroom, ready for learning without any interruptions, so that you can have the best start to your transcript, because your grades really count. They really matter in the high school level as far as getting that diploma, meeting your requirements for universities. So the least amount of disruption to your schedule is our goal. And we really look at that transition meeting to address your needs and the things that are most important to your academic program, so there wouldn't be a need to make a change at the beginning of the school year. But if there is a problem, reach out to your counselor, because that's our job, is to help support you in the things to keep you successful here on campus.
Okay, I would say, we're coming up on 50 minutes. We just had one more question come in, and I can answer this, but I'm going to have you guys answer it. Is there any classes with law enforcement? Oh,
Yes,
that's the wrong one. Sorry. Any class with law enforcement? There we go.
Yes, there is. We have our Public Service Academy that is available to our students at the 10th grade level. They can find some information on the Public Service Academy on that Future Freshman website. And there's quite a few videos to watch from Mr. Schmidt, our lead teacher, and some students as well, to give you kind of their perspective on what their experience has been like as part of the Public Service Academy.
Excellent, excellent. And then while you're up there, Mrs. Aguirre, this question came in. Can students in 8th grade get that in-person help that you're doing with small groups now before freshman year starts?
So there's going to be an opportunity for that during summer school.
Okay.
Once we have more information on what that looks like, we'll be sending that out to our families.
Okay, excellent, excellent. You know what? That's all our questions here. Should I bring everybody up here to say goodbye?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring everybody up here. And while I'm doing that, I do want to share that you've got some Rockstar staff members that are watching and so forth. Let's see here. We've got shout out to the best counseling department from Stephanie Smith.
Thanks, Ms.
her
Smith.
for being on. And she just said again that you guys are a great group of leaders. And I was writing some notes here. You guys talked about everything from, let me get the, I'm sorry, Ms. Aguirre, let me get that banner off your head so you don't have that. But I'll tell you, I'm impressed. You guys talked about athletics, activities, dress code, ASB, social emotional learning, scheduling, types of classes, clubs, and how to make changes in their schedule. And I probably didn't get it all. So you guys just an amazing job. I want to just say thank you, thank you, thank you. And all the comments are right now coming in. People are saying thank you as well.
So, Mr. Webb, you've always been a fantastic support of La Quinta High School and Desert Sands in general, and we appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
You got it. No problem.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much, La Quinta High School, for joining me. We're going to have actually one last thing that I'm going to show up. I'm not sure if you guys are all aware. We have the African American Parent Advisory Committee Student Summit coming up Friday, and we have an amazing promotional video. So I'm going to show that at the end here. But La Quinta High School, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to be with your families in the community. And when I'm hiking in the morning with the mayor, I know she'll be very appreciative of this too. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead and play that video now.
The African American Parent Advisory Committee and Desert Sands Unified School District would like to invite you to the African American Student Summit, a free virtual event for everyone on Friday, February 26th at 5 p.m. The event will include a panel of former African American students from the Coachella Valley who will share their journeys and experiences.
The desert has definitely shaped my views.
It's a great place to have these conversations.
TV, and especially now with social media, doesn't define who my race and culture is.
There's a wealth of talent that has gone through this valley. That's a voice that has been muted over the years.
We look forward to seeing you Friday, February 26th at 5 p.m.
So I'll say I will be there for the summit. I'm looking forward to working with the students and the moderators, as well as that you could see the great speakers that are going to be there. But make sure to join us on Friday at 5 o'clock for the African American Parent Advisory Committee Student Summit, the first time that we're doing this, partnering with our neighboring school district at Palm Springs Unified, as well as make sure to catch us tomorrow morning. We've got classroom conversations with Chef Mary and I. We're bringing in Ann Morales from Earhart Elementary School, and we're talking cupcakes. It'll be a lot of fun. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.